All right, let's get right into it. We're about to unpack a huge shift in global industrial power. But, our story starts with something that sounds like it's pulled straight from a spy movie: a car. So imagine this. You've got this high-end luxury SUV just cruising down the road. But instead of, taking a turn, it points itself directly at a big, deep lake. And it doesn't slow down. Nope, it just drives right in. And then something totally impossible happens. It doesn't sink. It just floats, perfectly balanced, just sitting there waiting for what's next.
So, what are we really looking at here? Is this just some flashy gimmick, something engineered to go viral? Or is it a powerful, super deliberate demonstration of something way, way bigger? And that, right there, is the real question we're going to dig into.
Okay, first things first. Let's properly meet the star of the show. This is the Yangwang U8. It's a top-of-the-line electric SUV from the Chinese company BYD. But look, this is way beyond just floating. This thing can do a 360-degree tank turn on the spot while it's in the water. It's got this super advanced intelligent suspension and a completely sealed electrical system. Think about that for a second. You could literally roll down the windows while you're floating. This isn't some magic trick. It's a flat-out demonstration of technological dominance. But honestly, this swimming car, that's just the headline. To really get what's going on, we have to look right past the car and focus on the company that built it. Because this story, it's not really about a car. It's a story about industrial power. So, BYD. It stands for Build Your Dreams. And what's so crucial to understand is that they didn't start out as a car company. At their absolute core, they are a battery and energy storage company. And they're also vertically integrated. That's a key term we'll come back to. It basically means they control the whole process from the very beginning to the very end. And this is where their playbook becomes so important. I mean, it is a masterclass in patience and long-term strategy. So step one, master the foundation. That's the batteries, the part you don't see, but the part that matters most. Then step two, integrate the entire value chain. Control everything from raw materials all the way to final assembly. And only then, only when they were in this position of incredible strength, did they launch the final product, the car. And this just perfectly sums up their whole philosophy. In this new electric era, the car itself is just a shell. The real power, the core tech, and all the value, it's in the battery. Okay, so now let's look at the consequences of this strategy. Let's see how this whole thing builds up into a massive tectonic shift in the global car industry. For the longest time, Tesla was the name in electric vehicles, right? The pioneer, the undisputed leader. But then, in late 2023, the crown slipped. BYD, quietly, almost out of nowhere for some, became the world's top seller of EVs, a changing of the guard that, honestly, a lot of people thought was impossible. And this is so much bigger than just one company beating another. What this signals is a potential shift in the world's whole center of gravity for tech innovation. For decades, the world has looked to Silicon Valley for these kinds of breakthroughs, but now a new hub is asserting itself, and with undeniable force. But where does this kind of industrial power actually come from? Well, the answer isn't in some high-tech lab or a gleaming factory. Nope, it's deep in the earth. These are the essential ingredients for the entire electric revolution. We're talking lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, and the source material we're looking at makes a really critical point. The vast majority of these minerals are extracted from one continent, Africa. And this brings us to what might be the single most important question in this entire explainer. It's not about who digs up the raw materials. The real question is who transforms them into something valuable. Or to put it another way, who's actually capturing all the economic benefit? And the answer brings us right back to that term from earlier, vertical integration. It's a strategy of controlling the whole journey, from the raw mineral to the finished battery to the final car. By managing this entire ecosystem, companies like BYD and the nations supporting them make sure that wealth is captured and stays right within their system. So what we're really watching isn't just a battle for a better car or cheaper battery. This is a competition between entire national industrial ecosystems, and it stretches from the mine all the way to the showroom floor. So, what does this all mean for the rest of the world? Well, the source argues that this whole strategy offers a powerful lesson, urging a global shift from just watching these trends to taking some real decisive action.
And you can see the world is already reacting. I mean, in the US, there's a huge push to reinforce industrial policy. In Europe, they're moving to protect their own internal market. All across Asia, nations are consolidating their supply chains. Every major economic bloc is essentially building walls around its industrial capacity. And then this is contrasted with the situation in many African nations, which are often still in the position of just exporting raw value instead of capturing it through transformation.
And this brings us right to the core takeaway. Yeah, the swimming car was the viral moment that got our attention, but true, sustainable national power isn't built on flash. It's built on a quiet, disciplined, really well-organized system that has a clear, long-term vision. So we're going to end by turning the source's final, very challenging questions over to you. After everything we've just seen, who is going to build the industrial future of Africa? Will the continent's incredible natural wealth always be transformed into high-value products somewhere else? Or, as the source so powerfully asks, could the solution already be there, within the people themselves? And that's the final thought we'll leave you with.